Welcome to the Comfortable in Chaos Podcast. Strangle your demons and let's go.
Y'all need Jesus!
Son of a gun. Let's take a great song and paint it with a twist. You walked into the party like you were walking onto a yacht. Your hat strategically dipped below one eye. Your scarf, it was apricot. You had one eye in the mirror as you watched yourself gavotte. And all the girls dreamed that they'd be your partner. They'd be your partner, yeah! You're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. Do we like that, man? Ladies' song, but it's still badass, isn't it? Let's keep going. You had me several years ago when I was still quite naive. Well, you said that we made such a pretty pair and that you would never leave. But you gave away the things you loved, and one of them was me. I had some dreams, there were clouds in my coffee, yeah! You're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. Welcome to the Comfortable in Chaos Podcast. I am your host, Eric Hellberg, and you know we're like Einstein over here, man. We have no special talents. We admit it. We acknowledge it. We're just passionately curious about all things pertaining to men in a culture that wants to devalue men. How in the hell did we get here, and where is it that we want to go? You ever dealt with someone like that, man? And there are women who are very much like that. Of course, that song is partitioned out from the other side, but we're bringing it full circle like we do on the Comfortable in Chaos Podcast. Despite it being a holiday week, and we have beaten Independence Day and the drums of freedom all week long, have we not? But we have had some titillating episodes. I mean, we've been around the world in 80 days, have we not, man? I think we began early in the week. It may have been Hamster Wheel, which was a follow-up to Church Whore. Then, of course, we went into Indians. We had Dependence Day. Then we released The Colonel. And now recently released is The Beekeeper. Let's take care of some perfunctories, man. I'm getting some good news. And hey, by the way, on several of these episodes, I had some interesting comments, which I was happy to entertain. Some good, some bad. Either way, I will respond, and we will find an equilibrium. If not, well, we'll take a different tact. We'll take a different tact as well. That's part of being a man. Anyways, we're getting great responses from oldcountrysoap.com. Old as in old school. OLDE countrysoap.com. It is handmade, hand-cut soap infused with essential oils that is cured, meaning it sits after they cut the bars, which are a little bit irregular. You're not getting standardization here. You're getting quality in a cost-effective manner. I even have new family who has been using it, and they are championing it. I'm waiting on a report back because one particular individual I know, despite the fact that he would always bathe himself with salt water or sea salt spray, he would get rosacea. And I have a feeling that oldcountrysoap.com may take care of this for him. But I can tell you from firsthand experiences, when it comes to blemishes and pimples and all that, my kids love it, so it can probably do the same for yours. Oldcountrysoap.com. Elon, their owner, would love to hear from you. Made right here in the good old United States of America. Now let's move on. Have you ever been betrayed, men? I'm going to tell you, if you live a life of any duration and/or maybe even any sort of significance, you will be betrayed. And when we're looking out on the landscape of battle, and as a man, he leaves home. Everywhere he is scanning, if he's a real man, if he's a beekeeper, he's taking in information. He's taking in sensory information. He wants to know friend from foe. He wants to understand situations. You never have to worry about an enemy. You never have to worry about that bombastic asshole over here. You know what he is. You know what this person is. What they do or don't do should not surprise you. They're easy. You can only be betrayed from within. Sometimes these episodes can be acute, meaning the knife goes right in your back. You weren't even wary of it. Those are tragic in and of themselves. But the betrayal comes because it comes from, remember in the Latin, E tu, Brute, you tu, Brutus, as Caesar was knifed down to the floor. Or you sensed at some point in that relationship, although the inner sanctum was open, the feelings were put out there. The empathy was extolled. You opened up yourself more than you ever have in your life, but it took a period of time in order to do so. And maybe there were some things that caused you alarm, but for whatever reason, maybe you couldn't confront them. Maybe you felt inadequate. Maybe you felt you deserved that. Maybe you thought that was simply part of the process. So it continued on for a long time. And I am going to tell you that those forms of betrayal often will only end because they typically are ongoing. When you come to the end of yourself and you realize it is you who has betrayed your own self, and you are now so decrepit in whatever form that is taken that now you can no longer stand the betrayal. But either way, acute or chronic, it can only come from the inside. Other applications simply do not exist. You can only be betrayed by someone that you care about, love, and/or is extremely close to you. And that's why it makes such an indelible impact upon your soul. Even Christ knew what Judas's intentions were. And if you remember at the Last Supper, he had basically told Judas, scurry on, move on, boy. Go do what you need to do. It was already set in place. And oftentimes we know the same. We just don't know how to arrive at that point, and we get to the point of, all right, let's get it over with. I always knew this would be forthcoming. Yeah, it is something. It is something significant. And what do we do as men because of that? We grow. We understand. We understand what the genesis was. Were we complicit in that? We very well could have been. But now we know better. And now we have built a life whereby we can flow in and out of there differently. We don't have to be ungodly vigilant, just simply aware. And that opens up whole new opportunities for us, man. As I am developing this thought while discussing it with my audience, my friends, here's what I am thinking. You must realize that not everyone is for you. Not everyone is going to get you. Nor you must be complete enough that you don't need them to. It really does not matter. Through the Lord's Holy Spirit that He has breathed into every single one of us, men are given specific powers. Powers that once they come in tune with, they can harness and use to their advantage. That is their giftings. Every single one of us has them in some form or fashion. And whoever it is that you have to engage with, no matter close, and or from a distance, if they cannot fully accept the powers that have been bestowed upon you, and you can tell that, simply don't give them away. And since we began with a Carly Simon song, one I used to hear my mom play quite a bit when I was a young lad, I think we will conclude with another Carly Simon song. You know why? Because here's how it goes. I haven't got time for the pain, oh no. I haven't got room for the pain, oh no. I haven't the need for the pain. So until next time on the Comfortable in Chaos podcast, I bid you bon voyage, my burgeoning flock.
Until next time, like and subscribe to the Comfortable in Chaos podcast.